The science of first impressions. How people judge you in 3 seconds. 3 seconds. That's all it takes for someone to decide whether you seem trustworthy, confident, or competent. Before you finish your first sentence, before you explain who you are, before the conversation even starts, their brain has already formed an impression. This isn't unfair. It's neuroscience. Psychologists call this thin slicing, the brain's ability to make quick judgments from very small amounts of information. In the early 1990s, researchers Nalini Ambady and Robert Rosenthal ran a fascinating experiment. They showed students silent video clips of teachers they had never met. Some clips were only 2 seconds long. The students rated the teachers on competence, warmth, and effectiveness. Then, researchers compared those ratings to the teachers' actual evaluations from their students at the end of the semester. The result was shocking. The ratings from those tiny 2-second clips strongly predicted the real evaluations. In other words, people could accurately judge a teacher's effectiveness after seeing them for just a few seconds. This is the power of thin slicing. Your brain evolved to make rapid social decisions. For most of human history, people had to quickly determine whether someone was friend or threat. Those fast pattern recognition systems still guide how we judge people today. So, what exactly are people evaluating in those first 3 seconds? Research shows that 6 major traits get assessed almost instantly: competence, trustworthiness, warmth, confidence, status, and sociability. And your brain scans specific signals to form those judgments: your facial expressions, your eye contact, your posture and body language, your grooming and appearance, your tone of voice, even the way you move in space. All of these cues are processed unconsciously and almost instantly. In fact, some studies show that people can infer personality traits from a face in 1/10 of a second. After that, something interesting happens. More time doesn't necessarily change the impression, it just strengthens it. This is known as the primacy effect. The first information someone receives becomes the mental frame for everything that follows. Once that first impression forms, the brain starts looking for evidence that confirms it. If someone initially seems confident, people notice behaviors that support that belief. If someone seems uncertain, the brain notices signals that reinforce that idea. That's confirmation bias at work. And it's why first impressions are so powerful. But snap judgments aren't perfect. They often fail when evaluating deeper traits like honesty, long-term reliability, or complex intelligence. And they can be influenced by stereotypes. Attractiveness, for example, creates something called the halo effect. When someone looks attractive, people unconsciously assume they're more capable and trustworthy. That assumption isn't always accurate, but it still shapes perception. So, if people are forming impressions this quickly, what can you actually control? More than you might think. Before an interaction even starts, preparation matters. Clothing that fits well and matches the environment signals competence. Good grooming signals self-respect. Even your posture before entering a room can change how you feel and how others perceive you. Mental preparation matters too. When you focus on being genuinely curious about the other person, rather than trying to perform perfectly, your body language naturally becomes more relaxed and authentic. Then come the critical first seconds. Make eye contact early. Smile naturally. Not just with your mouth, but with your eyes. Psychologists call this a Duchenne smile, and people unconsciously recognize it as genuine warmth. Keep an open posture. Face the person fully instead of angling away. If appropriate, use a firm handshake, confident but not aggressive. And when you speak, use a clear, warm tone. Energy in your voice communicates engagement and confidence. Throughout the conversation, maintain attentive listening. Appropriate eye contact, around 60 to 70% of the time, signals interest. Avoid distractions like checking your phone or looking around the room. Those small behaviors quickly weaken the impression you're creating. Here's the key insight. You can't stop people from forming first impressions. The brain will always make rapid judgments, but you can control the signals your behavior sends, your posture, your expression, your voice, your presence. 3 seconds isn't enough time to show someone everything about who you are, but it's enough time to show them how you show up, confident, warm, present. And when those signals are right, the rest of the interaction has a much better chance of going your way. Do you like what you saw? Like and subscribe so we can continue to make this content.